Hey y'all, it's Belle. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my October anticipated releases, finally. My grief over the loss of my pup just doesn't feel like it's getting better. It feels like it's getting worse. We're almost at 4 months actually. So weird. But we had a busy weekend. So Saturday, usually I do at least 2 posts on Instagram. I did one on Saturday and that's the last one I did. I haven't done one since and it's Tuesday. And a video didn't go up yesterday, so I'm trying to get this done today so it can go up, but I'm just trying. And in the book haul recently, there was a few books in there that were October anticipated releases, but since I'd already got them and put them in that video, I said I wouldn't put them in this video, so some of my anticipated releases were mentioned in that if you want to see what those were. And I'm sure I've missed some. Doesn't seem like as many as normal, so but there's still quite a bit. On October 1st in the UK, Witch Storm by Tim Tilley. Will believes in witches and the stories he's grown up with, of mythical storm lions, disappearing villages, and secret songs. Most of all, he believes the tales of magical treasure hidden in the fen centuries ago, treasure that he has to find to solve the mystery of his mom's disappearance. Then in the eye of the storm, a witch arrives. She holds the key to finding lost treasure, a powerful magical stone that can summon storms, but someone else is searching for it too. If it falls into the wrong hands, Will's beloved home could be destroyed, and with it, his chances of ever finding his mom. Now, I'm going to go kind of fast because even though it doesn't feel like there's a lot, as many as normal, it's still quite a bit. Also on October 1st in the UK, The Spectaculars by Jodie Garnish. When 3 figures arrive at Harper's window in a flying canoe, informing her that she is due to start her apprenticeship, Harper discovers that she is a spectacular, a magical performer gifted special powers from the stars. Harper is thrilled to be part of the Spectacular's traveling theater and boarding school until everything is plunged into great danger. With her new friends Trick and Thief, Harper sets out to save her school, but while dreams come true at the Wandria, nightmares might just be lurking in the wings. So excited. So on October 1st in the UK, The Girl, the Ghost, and the Lost Name by Reese Carter. I've been so excited for this for so long. Maybe some ghost enjoys walking through walls and being invisible. Not me. I never asked to be a kid ghost. With no memory of the kid she was before, she was taken by the Witchers, corpses bound to haunt the rock that doesn't exist forever. Until she learns of a treasure, one that can reunite corpse with her family and her name. She must set off for answers on a journey across the stormy sea, battling magic, zombie skeletons, and monsters. But the witches want the treasure too, and they'll do anything to get to it first. Welcome to Elston Fright, a forgotten town where witches lurk, sea monsters roam, and a girl is on the hunt for answers. And then on October 4th in the US, to start is 2 Degrees by Alan Gratz. And I'm not going to read the synopsis because I was sent an ARC by, I think, the team for Alan Gratz, and I read it recently. And that's another thing, I'm behind on my reviews. They're piling up over there, and 2 Degrees is the first on that pile for me to review, but I loved it. It was such an important and very realistic story, which made it all the more scary because it's real life, but highly recommend it. Everybody probably knows the show Charmed, so I won't read the synopsis. This is just a storybook. Charmed, the illustrated storybook by Paul Rudides. So, and I just love Charmed, so I wanted to mention that. Also on October 4th in the US, Shad Hadid and the Alchemist of Alexandria by George Draghi. I'm probably saying that not right. You are invited to the Alexandria Academy. 12-year-old Shad Hadid has never quite fit in. The other kids at school don't understand him, so he spends most of his time alone, looking for his tata and daydreaming of opening his own Arabic bakery full of tasty treats. But when Shad is attacked by a shadowy monster, he learns his late Baba was an alchemist with the ability to mix charms, elixirs, and mists, and he's one too. Then Shad receives an invitation to the mysterious Alexandria Academy, a fabled school for alchemists, where he hopes he'll find safety and learn more about the ancient science. But when he arrives, no one at the school seems to know what alchemy is. As Shad digs deeper into the mystery, he discovers a sinister evil lurking in the shadows, and only he holds the key to stopping or fulfilling their plans. With danger at every turn and the fate of the alchemy world on the line, can Shad save his friends and defeat this sinister foe? Sounds so unique and incredible. Another one I've been looking forward to for so long. So on October 4th in the US, Nothing Interesting Ever Happens to Ethan Fairmount by Nick Brooks. Something cool happening in Paris City? Not a chance. Until one day, when self-proclaimed genius inventor Ethan Fairmount runs into an abandoned car factory to avoid a local bully and accidentally stumbles across his ex-best friend Kareem, new kid Juan Carlos, and an extraterrestrial visitor. Cheese, the alien, is stuck on Earth in need of some serious repairs, spicy snacks, and absolute total secrecy. That's easier said than done when mysterious agents descend on Paris City to search for Cheese. With time running out and there are family and friends in potential danger, can Ethan, Kareem, and Juan Carlos pull off an intergalactic rescue before they are all found out? And then on October 6th in the UK, a sequel, Theodora Hendricks and the Snare of the Shadowmongers by Jordan Copy. I love this series so much. It's so much fun. It's so atmospheric. There's humor, beautiful illustrations. I'm so excited for this next one. And also on October 6th in the UK, The Haunted Hills by Burley Doherty. Carl visits the Peak District with his parents to try and recover from the fallout of a horrific accident. He becomes caught up in the mysterious tale of the lost lad. Are the hills actually haunted, or is Carl being chased by his own demons? As past and present collide, Carl must learn to come to terms with the loss of his best friend, Jack, and find a way to move on. Also on October 6th in the UK, Wren by Lucy Hope. Wren lives in an ancient castle in the mountains near the sea. The wind whistles through it, and the walls sing to her. Wren is busy inventing things, and her father is busy disapproving. But the castle contains a mystery, and as Wren is drawn further into it, she realizes the answer lies in the very foundations of her home, foundations that are being shaken to their core. It's dark, gothic adventure. Sounds so good. So on October 6th in the UK, The Tale of Truthwater Lake by Emma Carroll. On one side of the underwater street is the remains of a house. It's beautiful here in Erie, a lost kingdom, a ghost village. It's the near future, and Britain is having yet another heat wave. Of course, the government have put it in the normal curfews for this kind of weather, and shops are forced to shut again. For Polly, it's the sort of heat that makes her do wild, out-of-character things just to cool down, like face her fear of deep water, essential when she and her brother have been sent to their aunt's Eco Lakeside house for the summer. But Truthwater Lake is beginning to dry up. As the water level diminishes, a lost village emerges. Swimming over the rooftops at midnight, Polly dives down and is suddenly able to breathe, to hear church bells and birdsong. Polly's discovered an underwater gateway to the past. Sound amazing. Also on October 6th in the UK, Honesty and Lies by Eloise Williams. Winter in London, 1601. In a court where fortunes can rise or fall in a moment, Honesty and Lies is the tale of Honesty and Alice, two 13-year-old maids in Elizabeth I's court. Both are trying to survive as storytellers in their own way, one wanting attention as a performer and one trying to pass unnoticed as a spy. In such a precarious world, and with assassination attempts being planned behind closed doors, their friendships will put both their lives in danger. Very intrigued by that. And on October 11th in the US, Ghosts Come Rising by Adam Perry. And I'm currently reading this one. It's taken me a while because my reading's even falling behind. I'm not reading as much as I usually do, but I'm loving it so far, and I've read it synopsis recently, so I won't do it again. Just a special edition of The Land of Stories, the first book, The Wishing Spell by Chris Colfer. It's the 10th anniversary edition, so I really want that since that's the series that got me into middle grade. And then the next in the illustrated editions of Harry Potter, so Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. So very excited. I love those editions. And then also on October 11th in the UK, this time, Kali and the Forbidden Mask by Shiko Guru. 12-year-old Kali is moving to a new school in Nairobi and just wants her life to be normal. But when she meets Sony, Adwar, and Kirsty, who reveal that she is descended from an ancient bloodline of legendary Kenyan warriors, all hope of a normal life fades. Now with an array of malign forces massing, Kali must delve deeper into the past to discover her ancestry, learn to harness her extraordinary powers, and enter a race against time to defeat a village elder who has turned to dark magic in an effort to gain ultimate power. And on October 13th in the UK, a bunch of sequels. The Arctic Railway Assassin by M.G. Leonard and Sam Sedgman. It's the next in the Adventures on Train series. Love this series so much. It's so much fun. And then the next in The Beast and the Bethany, Battle of the Beast by Jack Magget Phillips. Such a fun, dark, gothic type humor series. I don't know how to explain that book, but I'm really excited. And then the second book in the Christmas Carols, The Christmas Competition by Mel Taylor Besant. I love that first book so much, so I'm so excited. And then the next in the Malice and Underground series, Ghost Games by Jenny Jennings. Cannot wait. Such a fun series. Very atmospheric. And also on October 13th in the UK, Humberg, the Elf Who Saved Christmas by Stephen Butler. Christmas elves, but not as we know them. The Humbergs aren't the kind of family you see on sparkly wrapping paper or in snowy storybooks about Santa's grotto. You won't see them on the front of Christmas cards, and they definitely won't be knitted on your grandma's favorite festive jumper. Those happy scenes are only for the likes of the workshop elves and certainly not the humbugs. Nope, they manage a much less glamorous part of Santa's factory, the RPD department. That's reindeer poo disposal, and to you and me, yuck. But when a mince pie related mishap combined with an unfortunate letter-losing incident sees them exiled from their home, the humbugs, together with their clumsy reindeer Blister and Willie Ben Sleigh, go on a great daring adventure where they discover the true meaning of Christmas. I'm so excited. I love when new Christmas ebooks are coming out. And speaking of which, Also on October 13th in the UK, Operation Nativity by Jenny Pearson. Oscar and Molly rush outside to investigate a crash in the night. They're not expecting to find a dazed angel Gabriel wandering around their grandparents' back garden. And they're certainly not expecting to find themselves in a race to save Christmas. But if they don't track down a missing shepherd, wise man, donkey, and the actual Mary and Joseph, who've all crash-landed in Chipping Bottom, not only will Christmas cease to exist, but they will too. Operation Nativity is on. I love that actual Christmas story with what Christmas is actually about. Not Santa, but, you know, the nativity scene, Mary, Joseph, shepherds, and wise men. Yeah, so I love that. Christmas is not about Santa. Also on October 13th in the UK, The Mystery of Raspberry Hill by Eva France. The grown-ups all think she's going to die soon. She can see it in their eyes. Still, when poor 12-year-old Stina is sent to remote Raspberry Hill Sanatorium, she can't believe her luck. She gets to ride in a real motor car to the hospital, which looks like a magnificent castle hidden deep in the forest. But as Stina explores the long, echoey corridors of her eerie new home, she begins to suspect that the building is concealing a dark secret. How did the old East Wing burn down? Why doesn't her mother reply to any of her letters? And what are the nurses also afraid of? Stina is determined to solve the mystery of Raspberry Hill, but as she edges closer to the truth, she finds herself in terrible danger. Then on October 18th in the US, Hither and I by Ellen Potter. I think this was supposed to come out last month, or it must have got pushed back. And I've talked about this one in book calls and in highly anticipated video before in my review, because the author had sent me an ARC. And I love this book so much, and I can't wait to get a beautiful finished copy and for the next book. And then The Spirit Queen, a Firebird novel by Arne Flores. I loved that first book so much, so I cannot wait to read this. Also on October 18th in the US, The Glass Witch by Lindsay Puckett. Her bones are glass, but her heart is magic. Adelaide Good has never been good enough. Everyone knows she's the weakest witch born to the Good family in centuries. And now her mom is betraying her in the worst possible way, abandoning her in Cranberry Hollow where she has no friends at all for 3 whole months. And she's pushing her to compete in the town Halloween pageant. Addie is going to be stuck in this town. Her mother won't go away so easy, so she sets off the curse that's been haunting her family for centuries. But she doesn't plan on the curse turning her bones to glass or setting a 300-year-old witch hunter after her. With the aid of a monster-obsessed neighbor and a twitchy-nosed furry friend, Addie must hunt down the ingredients necessary to break the curse before the stroke of midnight. And if she doesn't, she might just erase magic from her family and her town forever. Also on October 18th in the US, Marikit and the Ocean of Stars by Karis Avendano Cruz. That's one I've been looking forward to for so long. Marikit is used to wearing recycled clothes. Her mother, the best seamstress in the barrio, has become an expert at making do ever since Marikit's father and brother were lost at sea. But for her 10th birthday, all Marikit wants is something new. So when her mother gives her a patchwork dress stitched together with leftover scraps from her workshop, Marikit vows to never wear it. That is until the eve of her birthday, when shadow creatures creep into their home, attempt to take Marikit away, and upend the very life she knew. When she's swept away from the human world, Marikit discovers that her dress is a map, one levelly crafted to lead her to safety in the magical lands of the Encantos. She trudges through the enchanted lands of mythical creatures, making friends out of monsters and challenging gods. With the help of her friends, including an exuberant firefly and a cursed boy, Marikit journeys through the land of the Encantos to find the key to saving her family, all without being eaten alive. Also on October 18th in the US, Outside Nowhere by Adam Barba. Charming and funny, Parker Kelbrook can wiggle out of anything he doesn't want to do. So when he's forced to take a job at the local pool, a threat to his beach-filled summer plans, he comes up with the perfect prank to get himself fired. Once Parker's father catches wind of his latest scheme, he decides enough is enough, and Parker is sent halfway across the country to work on a farm alongside 5 other kids who aren't his biggest fans. As Parker learns to roll up his sleeves and keep his head down, strange things start happening. And after he awakens one morning to find a 1,700-pound dairy cow on the roof of a barn, he suspects that something magical and mysterious is growing in the farm's fields. Very intrigued. On October 18th in the US, Secrets of Stone and Sea by Allison K. Hymas. Rise, the ocean rise. Rise and greet the shore. With red and bread, he feeds on the dead and meets you at the door. 12-year-old identical twins Peter and Kai are spending the summer in the town of Seaspire when ancient legend quickly put the boys against a furious sea creature with the power to destroy worlds and sink cities. To prevent it from drowning the entire town of Seaspire, they'll have to solve a set of codes and puzzles with ties to the lost city of Atlantis. I love a good story that involves Atlantis. Also on October 18th in the US, My Nest of Silence by Matt Faulkner, and it says it's a blend of prose and graphic novel. Manzanar is nothing like home, yet the relocation center is where Mary and her family have to live now that the government has decided that Japanese Americans aren't American enough. Determined to prove them wrong, Mary's brother Mac has joined the army and is heading off to war. In protest, Mary has stopped talking for the duration of the war, or at least until Mac comes home safe. Still, Mary has no trouble expressing herself through her drawings. Mac, too, expresses himself in his letters home, first from training camp and later from the front lines of World War II, where he is fighting with the 442nd Regimental Combat Team. But while his letters are reassuring, reality is not. Mac is facing danger at every turn, from racism within the Army to violence on the battlefield. So that's going to be an important, emotional story. Also on October 18th in the U.S., Drawing Outside the Lines by Susan J. Austin. Growing up in horse and buggy Oakland, Julia enjoys daring fence walks, climbing the tallest trees, and constantly testing her mother's patience with her lack of interest in domestic duties and social events. In a time when brainy girls are the object of ridicule, Julia excels in school and constantly outsmarts her ornery brothers, but she has an even greater battle ahead. When she enrolls at university to study engineering, the male students taunt her and the professors belittle her. Through it all, however, Julia holds on to her dream of becoming an architect. She faces each challenge head-on, firmly standing up to those who believe in women's places in the home. Fortunately, the world has yet to meet anyone like the indomitable Miss Morgan. It's an imagined childhood of pioneering architect Julia Morgan, who left behind an extraordinary legacy of creativity, beauty, and engineering marvels. It says her time at university, but it's listed as middle grade. Manufacturer's minimum age 10 years, and it says an imagined childhood of, so we'll see. Also on October 18th in the U.S., Sardines by Sashi Kaufman. Nothing's been the same since Lucas's older brother died. After the accident, Lucas's mom disappeared without any warning, and his dad is struggling to cope. Lucas is pretty much alone except for the other kids he meets at his middle school's aftercare program. There's Kat, the star athlete, Robbie the goofball, Anna the popular girl, and Finn the mysterious new kid. Between games of sardines, a reverse hide and seek, the kids realize that each group member has a secret wish. If they work together, the group might be able to help make each person's dream come true. But for that to happen, Lucas will have to find the strength to trust his new friends with his family's secrets. Very intrigued. Then on October 25th in the U.S., Unbreakable, The Spies Who Cracked the Nazi Secret Code by Rebecca E.F. Barone. As the Germans waged a brutal war across Europe, details of every Nazi plan, every attack, every troop movement were sent over radio. But to the Allied troops listening in, and they were always listening, the crucial messages sounded like gibberish. The communications were encoded with a powerful cipher, making all information utterly inaccessible, unless you could unlock the key to the secret code behind the Germans' powerful Enigma machine. Complete with more than 60 historical photos, Unbreakable tells the true story of one of the most dangerous wartime code-breaking efforts ever. While Hitler marched his troops across newly conquered lands, and deadly wolf packs of German U-boats prowled the open seas, a team of code breakers, spies, and navymen raced against the clock to uncover the secrets that hid German messages in plain sight. Victory or defeat in World War II would hinge on their desperate attempts to crack the code. Now wait. Also on October 25th in the U.S., A Seed in the Sun by Ada Salazar. Lula Veramontes aches to one day become someone who no one can ignore, a daring ringleader in a Mexican traveling circus. But between working the grape harvest in Delano, California with her older siblings under dangerous conditions, taking care of her younger siblings and Mama, who has mysteriously fallen ill, and doing everything she can to avoid Papa's volatile temper, it's hard to hold on to those dreams. Then she meets Dolores Huerta, Larry Itleon, and other labor rights activists, and realizes she may need to raise her voice sooner rather than later. Farm workers are striking for better treatment and wages, and whether Lula's family joins them or not will determine their future. So on October 25th in the U.S., The Real Deal by Lindsay Stoddard. Not every friendship can be the real deal, but for Gabe and Oliver, that's never been a question until now. Things still feel the same on the surface. They're even making a comic book about their friendship, but lately Oliver's acting like he might be hiding something. And then there's Ruben, the new boy who just moved to town. He doesn't talk, not ever. The other kids say mean things and call him names behind his back. Gabe knows it isn't right, but he and Oliver stay quiet, or worse, laugh along with the others just to keep from standing out. Through the character he and Oliver create in their comic book adventure, the experience they have babysitting twin toddlers, and with the help of a troublemaking 7th grader who gets sent to their 6th grade class, Gabe begins to find his voice and become the realest deal version of his own self. But if he does that, can he still hold on to his best friend too? On October 25th in the U.S., The Rabbit's Gift by Jessica Vitalis. Quincy Rabbit and his Warren live a simple yet high-stakes life. In exchange for the purple carrots they need to survive, they farm and deliver true chow deve, cabbage-like plants that grow human babies inside, to the human citizens of Montperu. But lately, because of those selfish humans, they haven't been enough carrots to go around, so Quincy sets out to change that. All he needs are some carrot seeds. He'll be a hero. Lauren sees things a little differently. As the only child of the Grand Lumiere, she's being groomed to follow in her mother's political footsteps, no matter how much Florian longs to be a botanist instead. Convinced that having a sibling will shift her mother's attention, Lauren tries to grow purple carrots, hoping to make a trade with the rabbits. But Then a sneaky rabbit steals her seeds. In her desperation to get them back, she follows that rabbit all the way to the secret warren and steals a child. Quincy and Florin have endangered not just the one baby inside the child, but the future of Mont Peru itself for rabbits and humans alike. Now they'll have to find a way to trust each other to restore the balance. And on October 27th in the UK, The Vanishing of Aveline Jones by Phil Hicks. This is the third book. I just love this series so much. Such spooky, atmospheric. I just love them, and I cannot wait to get this one and read it. And then also on October 27th in the UK, The Chestnut Roaster by Eve McDonald. Starting on All Fool's Day 12 years ago, I remember everything. Everything. That was a wet Saturday, and that was the day I was born. 12-year-old Piaf has the ability and burden of remembering everything that has happened since the day she was born. When she discovers everyone in Paris has forgotten the entire last year, 1887, including the disappearance of several gifted children, Piaf and her twin brother Luc embark on a dangerous journey that brings them to the depths of Paris's underground twin, the catacombs, to capture the memory thief and find the lost children. Very, 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 very intrigued. Also on October 27th in the UK, The Garden of Dor by Paul Beagle. Dor was once the city of merriment, music, and dancing. Now it lies gray and silent under the spell of the witch Sardines. When a young princess arrives in Dor on a secret quest, she finds the town full of mystery, magic, and danger. As she meets with a succession of strange, funny, and frightening characters, Dor's true history and the true nature of her quest become clear through the stories they tell each other. Can the princess find the gardens of Dor and free the city from its evil enchantment? Sounds amazing. Also on October 27th in the UK, The Miraculous Sweetmakers, The Frost Tasha Hastings. I think the US edition comes out in November, if I'm not mistaken. It's a cold winter during the Great Frost of 1683. The Maizena and Anne are the best of friends, one running her father's sweet shop and the other the apprentice at the family apothecary. Together they sell their goods on the frozen river Thames. When a family tragedy turns the Maizena's world upside down, she is drawn to a mysterious conjurer and the enchanted Frost Fair. But soon the world of Father Winter threatens to claim everything she holds dear. Will they be able to solve the magical mysteries that surround them? So excited. October 28th in the UK, Imba Oak and the Terrible Tomorrows by Jenny Moore. All the best stories and adventures start with a knock at the door, or the thwump of a dragon's tail at the entrance to her cave in the case of Imba Oak. But then nothing about Imba's story is normal, from the scales on her arms and legs to the shocking discovery that she hatched out of a dragon's egg. Even more shocking is the news that an evil sorcerer is after her dragon blood and will do anything to get his hands on it. Can Imba keep herself safe, or will her loved ones pay the price? Lastly, on October 30th in the UK, The Lost Spy in the Green Dress by Alex Paz Goldman. For 12-year-old Monty, growing up in Israel in the 1960s, the world is full of mysteries to be solved, while his town is full of spies to be caught. His parents are Holocaust survivors, struggling to build a new life for themselves, but to Israeli-born Monty, they are nothing but an embarrassment. Unlike them, he will not be a victim. He will be bold and strong and fearless. So when Monty and his best friend, Reuben, identify a suspicious elderly man in the neighborhood as a potential German spy, they set out to unmask him, determined to root out the enemy and defeat him. Thus ensues a series of adventures, investigations, near misses, and the repeated appearance of a green dress. Aided by Reuben's sister, Aviva, they finally solve the case, and in the process, Monty uncovers some secrets closer to home. Secrets like, what does his mother hide away in her private drawer? Why does she have to go on a trip to Germany? And what exactly is she refusing to say about her past? Alright, y'all. Did you see any that you hadn't heard of and you're excited about? Are there some you've read already? Did you like them? Did you not? Today's shirt's a Hocus Pocus, and got the sleeve stuff, and I like that. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like to subscribe, I would love that if you'd like to, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.